Hey guys, welcome back to Rice Camera Action. I'm your host as always, Geoff Gaudet, here to introduce you to some of the foreign actors and entertainers in Asia. Today I'm joined with a friend I met recently on a set. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Vadim from Russia. I'm 31 years old. I'm in Korea as a freelance model.
Yeah, so you're just working as a model right now. How long actually have you been in Korea?
So it's been slightly more than a year.
Okay.
Mostly been doing, struggling, I would say, with.
This is how him and I bonded. We met on a commercial set there was a collaboration between Kia Motors and the European League of Legends tournament. So we met just in the background being chefs in the kitchen.
Exactly. I got a chance to be blurred a little bit closer to the like main actress. But still it was just like a couple of seconds. But it's been a struggle, more than a year, because as you probably know yourself, there's a lack of jobs, a very weird market, a messy market, a lot of weird conditions, a lot of weird agencies giving weird offers and so on and so forth. But I must say that it's been nevertheless an interesting experience because I've done also a couple of side projects related to music and other things.
So you're talented in a bunch of different things, not just modeling. You're not more than a face, right?
I'm not sure if I'm talented in anything. It's just I have interest in a lot of things, so I'm trying to kind of probe this and that and see whichever works for me.
Yeah. So you said that you've been in Korea now for just like over a year or so. So that's like the middle of the pandemic. What were you doing? Were you actually modeling or doing something before coming to Korea?
Before coming to Korea, I actually came to Korea a few times. At first just for a travel, and then 2 years ago I was studying here 6 months doing language training.
Okay.
And also before that I was living in China for 2.5 years, teaching there actually illegally. But doing everything to survive.
The white gorilla in the
it was a white monkey, exactly. And when the pandemic hit, I was just kind of in a, how can I say, like a midterm, so to say, wasn't doing anything specific. Then I started getting ready for the language course, and after I came back from that course, I worked at a kindergarten for maybe 6 months, and then I came to Korea to do modeling. Before that, I only had like some occasional experience as an extra mainly. I did one campaign though, which paid like 40,000, I guess.
Well, like 40 million?
No, 40,000.
Like $40,000?
40,000 won.
That's oh my god.
And my posters were like all over the city for the whole month.
You got ripped off.
And I knew nothing about the industry at that time. I was like, because if you're an extra in Russia, usually for 12 hours you could get like like 10,000, or even less sometimes.
Oh, really?
So when I was like, wow, it's Sennheiser, the brand, German, I think. It was like a new hat piece. They were promoting it, and it was quite an interesting collaboration between the Russian artists, like musicians, and the Sennheiser brand. So they invited me. I was like, wow, a photo shoot for a brand, that's so cool. And then, wow, instead of like 10,000, it's 20,000 or so. I was like, wow. And then I found out that it could be much better.
So I guess you're so naive and bright-eyed coming into this business.
But like when I was actually coming to Korea, I already knew about the market because I had a friend who was in the agency that I was in last year. So she kind of introduced me to the market, and she told me about ups and downs. So I came here kind of prepared. However, I wasn't aware of the usage and
I'm still learning about that myself. The usage and the different levels. Like, are you background? Are you image? Are you submodel? Are you main model?
That, and also like how agencies work and how to book yourself how to get the gigs and stuff like that. So I had to learn about that over a year, still also learning.
Well, I'm still learning too.
Yeah, but I came here more or less prepared. However, before that, I didn't, like I said, only the extra experience, but the actual modeling, just occasional photo shoots with my friends, photographers.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
Collaborations?
Yeah, something like that. And then I came here and started doing all the music videos, mostly music videos, a couple of dramas, a couple of movies.
Right.
And then I only got my first commercial like almost after 1 year.
Yeah, well, I don't post it on my social media, but I get like maybe every other month there's a music video that I'm getting cast for, but I don't put it up my social media.
Oh, really? Why?
Oh, well, actually a lot of the music video offers that I get are very direct from the production staff. And so I can negotiate that. But if I show that I'm in a lot of, I feel if I'm in a lot of music videos, and then some of the production staff will not reach out to me. So as well as a lot of agencies that cast for the music videos, they pay very low. So I instead try to, I avoid actually castings with agencies, because they might pay like 200,000 won, but usually with the direct talking to the production team, it's like 500 for the image. You and I also have a unique look as well, because you have a shaved head and I have a, so we're like Saitama and maybe Saitama's uncle, goofy uncle with a beard. But yeah, so it's hard, like, because actually in Korea, like, there's a lot of emphasis put on looks. And even a lot of the male models or like actors I look, during the pandemic, they actually went into plastic surgery places or hair treatment places, and they got like hair plugs in, and they're all do that. So they're not willing to shave their head, but you and I have like a cleaner look. Or
yeah, that's an interesting thing. So we definitely have a unique appearance. We do have our own style, but at the same time, it's still not in demand in Korea. It's like a very narrow niche. Maybe like street style, hip hop, or like like you're doing music videos. Sometimes they need kind of a unique appearance for a character, but still, mostly Korea is after a classic look.
Right.
Like I would. Every time I talk about that with someone, the person that comes to my mind right away, like the very standard of the looks for Korea that really work, is Stefan.
My friend Stefan.
Right.
So, Stefan was, I believe, episode 4? Yes, episode 5. Yeah, so yeah, Stefan, he has that look that like he has, the thin V face. He's over 180 centimeters. He's well built. He's very athletic. He has a smile.
Yeah, he's not. The thing is that he's not too tall, not too bulked up. He's just like perfect for them. So he's doing great. But us,
it's hard to find our niche, right? And then like when you think that you have that niche, and you even when I talk to the agencies, they're like, listen, I have this specific look, but every time I'm on, I'm in front of the camera, like I give 100%. And always, I owe every project that I've been on, I haven't been cut from. I have just that unique look, and I commit to the character, and maybe even I'm getting paid less, so they use me more. I did a music video maybe a few months ago. It was like with Extraordinary Heroes, and they actually hired like 10 foreigners. And then and all the foreigners, except for 2 police officers that were like running in the distance, and a close-up of me appeared in the music video. And then they had like 7 girls that were supposed to be shopping. They just got all cut because it didn't really work, their concept.
Yeah, that's interesting how sometimes you go for a shoot and the original concept is like that, but then it just changes on the way. Like I had my first Samsung commercial back in the end of November. Well, first of all, I was supposed to be an image extra, just an artist, standing somewhere in the background and like painting something. But then the role changed, which was good because I saw the final version. The guy appeared just like split second with his back facing the camera only.
Yeah.
But in my case, so once everything was settled, finally after all the negotiation and changing of dates and locations and stuff, then they told me like, you're in, but there is a choreography.
Yeah.
And I thought like, oh, it's a commercial, so maybe there is some like TikTok style.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
But then there was a full-on choreography for the whole minute, and I do dance like sometimes, occasionally. But like it was an extra job, you know.
Yeah.
And we thought, me and other models, we thought like it requires extra money.
Yeah. So how did that go? Did you
Right.
talk to your manager or your agents, like say, hey, they have you've cast me for just background extra, and now they've changed this thing.
Yeah, of course I tried to negotiate. We also spoke with my friend models, but like the agency just wouldn't budge, basically. So I thought like, well, the job is almost slipping out of my hands, so I just gotta hold on to that, and like maybe later on, once I get more experience, maybe.
Yeah, it's a hard place that they put you in, because they cast you just for, as a painter, you said, in the background, but then suddenly they want you to do this dance choreography, and that requires more than you originally were asked, and like you're even initially getting paid.
Yeah.
But now you're in a hard place, like when, hey, you talk to your manager, and the manager says, oh, well, I'll talk to the production team, and hopefully you'll get some more. It never comes.
Yeah, exactly.
But then also, you could put your foot, some places, some managers like, hey, if you're not comfortable, like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But then you're now thinking in the back of your mind, oh man, this is probably the last time I'm going to work with this company.
Exactly.
Or I'm now, like, if I see this production team, if this production team sees my photo again, they're going to see that I have a bad attitude and I don't participate.
Right.
So it's hard. And even that, like, they probably didn't even have that dance planned until the night before.
Maybe, yeah, because I also found out that they hired actual dancers, like the experienced dancers, for extras. While, like, some of us, we were like 5 people, I guess, 4 subs and 1 main. But the main girl did not, like, she hadn't danced. I think at all, by that time, but she was the main. Of course, her movements were not as complicated as ours, but us too, like, some of us were more experienced in dancing, but still we were not like professional dancers, most of us.
I saw another example of that in a music video that recently just came out. I'm not going to say what it's a female idol group, and some of my friends, one of the guys, but basically there was like a main dance that they did. And you could tell my one friend that's actually skilled at dancing, like, he was able to mimic very quickly, the main dancer. But then you had like 4 other guys. They were just like told, hey, you got to dance, and they're basically just trying just to move their body.
Definitely, I know.
So you could tell that. So that I'm like going, oh, that's a classic example. They basically had a concept. The week before, they hired all the actors, but then the storyboard wasn't even made until the night before, what they wanted all the foreigners to do.
Yeah, also with our dance, actually when we saw the reference video, there were only girls there. And like there were myself, and also another guy model. So we're like, even the movements are like very girly and like that. So why? So probably they had one thing in mind, then they changed it, then they decided to adapt it to that commercial. But the thing is that also, like, we practiced that choreography really hard. We had this rehearsal day separately, and then we came to the location. We practiced it there again. Then we shot it a couple of times with different angles and stuff. And then
how long was that full day, anyways?
I think we arrived on set, I think maybe at 2.
2?
No, I think it was 4. 2 hours before the rest arrived. So we were just sitting there and doing nothing for 2 hours straight. and then we finished like around 11ish.
Okay, so like 9 hours.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that's it. Yeah, that's the classic full day.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the end, we just got like 5 seconds of appearance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in the background. So like, all right. And then also there was another experience. The funny thing is that I did another Samsung commercial soon after that with another agent that I had not met before. And so first of all, the way that it all happened was really weird because I found the posting, I texted the agent, and I asked him a bunch of standard questions about the usage, the period, the type of job, and like
the role, your role in there.
But he was like, you know what, you just come for the meeting, and we'll tell you everything. So I was like, okay, so I came for the meeting. It turned out that it was not a meeting, it was a casting for dancers. So I was not prepared for that, and another thing was that it was not just some like random casting, you do whatever you can. It was, so they were playing like a classical music, and everyone had to improvise to that. So like some contemporary or ballet style.
Was this like, wait, I think I went to that one. It was like a Samsung watch.
Right.
Yeah.
No, not watch. It was.
Did you have to do 3 dances?
No. Not
okay.
3 dances. It was in March, and it was for also. So the first one I did was for Samsung QLED TV. The second one was also for the same thing, but different concept. So I came, I saw like, it was funny how me and a bunch of models, we were just entering this hall. It was in Hanyang University, like the kind of a gym hall stuff.
I don't think I've been to that one.
Yeah, but anyways, we're entering, and we see a bunch of people just, stretching and preparing to do the dance. And then there's this classical music playing. We're like, what the hell? So how are we supposed to do that? I straight up came to the agent and I said, like, I can dance and I can learn a choreography and do it well, but I'm not a freestyle. Like, I'm not, like I would say, I'm not good enough to do freestyle to any kind of music, especially not to classical music. So, but he said like, oh, just show your information and leave. I'm like, hi, and then left. And then I got the job. But regarding the conditions, so it was stated as an extra job. The pay was quite low. Plus, there was some additional payment for the rehearsals for 2 days. But we told the agent that it's not just an extra job, especially considering the type of dance, because how many contemporary dancers, foreign dancers are in Korea? Like, you can just count by
I would say like a lot. I would say about half of the models in their 20s, both male and female, have like dancing. Like they love K-pop. So that's also one of the problems, because there's like so many models out there, and like the pay. Because what happened, you had all these foreigners that came to Korea because they love Korea, and they came to study and be closer to K-pop. Okay, but then their studies, like you have, finished, and then they're going, wow, now we're in a pandemic, there's no work. I'm like going, there might be a chance for me to stay in Korea and get these odd little jobs, and I could still stay where I want. So that a lot of those students changed to performers and models. So now it's the entertainment field's overrun with all these, like, teenage girls and teenage boys that have interest in K-pop and go to Noribang once a week to learn a song. But also they're kind of like nervous in front of the camera.
So that's the thing. The market is overpacked with models, but because of that, the agencies have just an endless pool of models, and they don't really care.
So they'll just give you a small initial payment, and that's just basically a day's model fee, and then you always have to come back with them with the usage fee if you know about that, and the time frame. So you're like, oh, we'll give you $1 million won, and they say, and you ask, oh, what is it going to be, domestic or international? Oh, what's the time period of usage? where is it going to appear? Is it just digital and social media, or is there going to be television and yada yada? And there's, for each one of those elements, there's a multiplier that you include that. But what's also something I kind of feel now too is I see a lot of groups, and there's more established actors that have been here for over 10 years.
Yeah.
They've been actors, and they've worked up to this position where they can negotiate.
Yeah.
They are and they have the talent, they have the skills to back it up. But then they're also given the same advice to newcomers. They're like, in my situation, I would ask for this much.
Right.
So then you have the more established actors saying, this is what I would tell them, and then you have the new people saying, oh, I want that same amount. So everyone's out asking for the same amount, regardless of skill, regardless of talent and their experience and what they've done. And so that's also killing the field a lot too.
True. Yeah, it's very it's a very controversial situation, because on one hand, if those newbie models are asking if they're happy with the low fee, the agents start thinking that we have enough people to cover the demand, and we don't have to pay them much. You know? So why would we care? About
it's both sides are fighting against each other. It's like with money, it's either black or white. They're either paying too, the company is paying too less, or the actors now, I feel, are asking for too much. There's no gray area.
Yeah. Probably. Also, from the from the advices that sometimes I get, you have to fight for the pay, you have to fight for the proper rates and everything. But in my situation, I cannot just turn down any offer that kind of doesn't match the standard, because it's just a luxury for me.
Right.
I don't have enough jobs.
Right. Yeah, we do have to survive to eat, but I got switching it because we talked a lot about all the negative stuff and all that. Is there a project in your year here that you've actually really enjoyed? What's your favorite thing that you've done?
Actually, to be honest, I cannot say that I've had really negative projects.
What's your favorite so far? What was the most
favorite?
was there a shoot that you really enjoyed, that you got to do something interesting, or there was a costume or a role that?
All right, let me think. Well, the very first music video that I did last year, it was Jesse's music video.
Jesse?
Jesse, yeah. Oh. Zoom.
Okay.
I see you looking at. Okay.
Oh, nice. You were in that one?
Yeah, I was in that.
Oh, it's super popular.
Yeah, and we came to the set as extras.
Yes.
And we were just supposed to be the camera crew or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
But then the production team came to us. They were like, okay, you know what? You're going to be a photographer, pointing at me. Yeah. And I was wearing a beanie and a checked shirt, and I kind of looked the part. And then I got a chance to work with Jessie directly. She was standing right next to me, and she was pretending to be shouting at me, and I was like what the hell? I had to react to that. And I also took her pictures, actually, and she was like, who took this picture? It looks nice. I'm like, oh, good job.
Yeah. Did you actually? Yeah, that's actually a good thing to talk about. Often Jessie is actually Yopo, so she's actually from New Jersey. So she speaks. Did you have a chance to actually speak to her?
Yeah.
What was she like? Because I feel like I wanted to actually meet her because she is sassy. And so I think I could cut some. I have a good sense of humor, and I could cut some jokes with her and have a good time.
So the funny thing is that I did not know anything about her. I think I hadn't even heard the name Jessie before I actually came for the shooting. But a lot of my friends were like, "Oh, it's Jessie." I'm like, "Jessie, who?" Yeah. But anyways, I came and we got a chance to talk. Also, during the shooting when we had a break time, she just came to us. No, maybe we came to her. But anyways, we just talked together, all of us, and she she felt like a very wholesome, nice, kind, sweet person. Like she didn't mind just hanging out with us even for a bit. So I definitely enjoyed that. So that was the first one that I really enjoyed, and also I did a Dr. Pepper commercial, which it was also a ripoff because I did not know anything about the usage at that time. And the guy that I was talking to was a foreigner, actually, foreign agent, and he was like, "Oh, it's just an appearance for a couple of seconds. It's a small, very easy job, so like the pay is like that."
Yeah.
And then I did that, and it turned out to be like a viral YouTube video with 2 years of usage, global, really? I think, and it was something like that. And I was like, wow. And I got this amount of money for that. Right.
It's with that's the thing with the YouTube. It's hard to. Before COVID, they couldn't see the analytics of the YouTube, so they would just pay this amount because it would cost money to actually like advertise on a website, or it would cost money to advertise on on television too, because they could see the statistics and from the goal. But YouTube is just a viral campaign. They don't know the success of it.
Yeah, well, maybe, but anyways, I feel like still this job could have paid like much more than I got.
Yeah. So what happens with these viral campaigns for YouTube and whatnot? The company will just actually pay for like a 3-month or 6-month, and those commercials pop up for ads on YouTube. Okay. But then after they're done, that period's done, they don't take down the original commercial. Right. It stays up there. Yeah. They're just not pushing it any longer.
Yeah. Well, but. At least the shooting was fun, definitely. Met some nice people there as well, as always, pretty much. It's just like the pay was a little not enough.
So I guess what I'm getting, the vibe I'm getting from you, you're not satisfied with the pay here.
Yeah, of course, because I'm hardly making a living. Like last year, I did some shootings. I did some big shootings, some nice shootings as well. Even compared to some of the models of my level, I did a little more in a way, but surprisingly, considering even my appearance and everything. But it was still not enough to make a living, and I actually had to stay with my friends for like a couple of months. Then I was at a point when I was even thinking of going back, even like considering the situation. But I didn't want to, so I was looking for some kind of a project, and then that was the time when I found this chance to perform with a Nanta team in Jeju.
Oh, okay.
So it gave me a chance to save up a little bit of money, like pay my debts, and then continue staying here. And I think, as I've probably mentioned already, the situation now is a little better than last year. I'm getting a little more shootings, and I'm having a little more money, but it's just there to for me to pay my rent, to get my transportation, and I don't know, like internet expenses, the food, and that's it.
Yeah, honestly, honestly, I'm in that thing. I'm in the same boat too. I just barely have enough to survive and send maybe just even like when I need to buy a new article of clothes or new shoe when my shoes are going, oh, okay, I have enough money in my bank account to get a new pair of shoes, but it's barely enough to survive.
Yeah, so annoying. And so I'm in a relationship with a girl now, and
you got a sugar mama?
Well, so the thing is that she pretty much knows about my situation, but still she's being very supportive, and when she can, she's paying for both of us. Yeah. I admit.
Yeah, it's hard not to think negatively, but you have to just tough it out and get known. My buddy Mark, I haven't interviewed him yet, but when him and I are the exact same age, so we're 42. Yeah. But he always gets.
You look 20.
Yeah. Well. Oh, I had. Okay, going on that. I actually applied for a commercial today, yesterday, and they said, oh, they were looking for like teenage to 30-something year.
Okay.
And then while I was coming here to film, the message said, sorry, Geoff, looking at your age, you should be a lot younger. Right. And I said, I look younger than I actually am. And in Korea, like I look like younger than I'm seen younger than I actually am. And I said, and we also live in like a time of plastic surgery. Right. So what's going on?
Well, the thing is that so usually there's like this thing, how do you call it? Like not your actual age, but the age that you can...
You appear?
Yeah. You appear, you can pull off. But in Korea, they often request you to put your birth year when you're applying for something. Right. So like it doesn't matter how you look. Yeah. It matters how.
So yeah, I'm in a weird place because on paper I'm a father. In photography, by image, I'm 30-something. Yeah. So yeah, even my friend and I, we're both the same age. He gets I'm more kind of the goofy uncle role, which doesn't exist here in Korea. But he was always getting cast as a father, and when we both started around the same time, like in 2019 in the entertainment. And he would always get father, and he was very thankful. He was and started off, he was getting like 600. He would do these shoots, and he would be just like laughing. He has that father role, but that now like he did like a shoot with one of the big brands. I don't want to put him on notice which one it was, because it might have been one of those electronic rival companies, and I don't want to say which one he did. Okay. But he got like 8 million, I think he got. But then he was kind of pounding. He's like, but all I'm getting are father roles. I'm like, I want to get cast for like interesting things too. I just don't want to be seen as the father. I'm like going, dude, I'm struggling. I'm getting cast as all these random things because they don't know what to do, and I'm doing interesting projects, or I have interesting roles, but I'm getting dirt pay. Yeah. You're at least established as a father, and you've done it so long that you're now actually getting good money for it. Don't get upset. Yeah,
like I think also like for us, we still have to find our niche and prove that we can do well in that niche, and then people would also start seeing that and give us more opportunities to show ourselves, as well as the better pay that actually corresponds the job. But it takes time. And
and it's frustrating because we're not seeing more than just our comm card and our statistics and our work experience.
Yeah, exactly. So if someone like your friend gets lucky and just has that image that everyone sees, like, it would work with him. So it's great because after all, it pays the rent, right?
It pays his rent. Yeah, he's married, so it keeps his wife happy. Yeah. But yeah, he wants to have he wants to do these action roles. Yeah. But again, like, because he has tasted the higher level of payment for these action roles just to get into it, it's like it was like 200 for a day, like for 12 hours. He's like going, I'm not fucking gonna waste my time with that.
Yeah, I understand. Well, but anything that kind of pays. So that's where we are. So like whatever pays, like we'll take. And but it's like still like you and I are like, though we have similar looks, we don't actually get cast for the same thing. We've only like been extras. Yeah. Like, we've only crossed once. But speaking of like the certain image and also the positive experiences in Korea. Yeah. I actually had this shooting back in April, I believe, last year. I was also cast as an extra. There were a couple of shaved hair models as well. And it was like a teaser for a coming music video for a boy band. And 80s, I don't know if you know or not. But anyways, came as an extra, but then also the crew took a look at us and they chose me to be a guy who kind of takes off the concept was very interesting because it was like a a dystopia, and the guys were kind of like rebels and guerrillas. That's why the music video is called Guerrilla.
Okay.
Yeah, and like actually the campaign itself, the approach was pretty cool because like the visuals that they used, the concept, the story, because like as I understood all the music videos, they kind of fell into one picture. It was pretty interesting. But anyways, like they chose me to be the
reveal
guy,
face.
Yeah, right. I'm taking off my face, which is like it turns out to be a mask, and then underneath that there's the singer from that band.
Okay.
So like the way they shot that was pretty interesting. And the thing was that we shot it back in April, like I said, but they released it, I think, in the end of July.
It usually like takes like 3 months or so, but in like even if they're coming out with like a mini album too, and they have like 3 songs on it, if it's not just one, like so they have to release 1 song a month.
Yeah. So like at that time it went pretty big, and also my appearance was like for almost 1 minute straight.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it was big, like close up and everything. But so like I said, like
the problem, the payment was low because that probably came through a casting agent, right?
Yeah, it actually came from my previous agency.
Yeah.
The only job that they gave me, it wasn't as bad as like I thought.
Right.
Because usually for music videos, the pay is pretty low. A little higher, but still. And also another thing was that it went big, and the thing was that it went so big that people found my Instagram and started commenting and sending me direct messages, and most of them were like very encouraging.
Actually,
do
you want to plug your Instagram too?
Yeah, sure.
What's your Instagram?
Well, aren't you gonna put that in?
I put it on there, but yeah, people that are listening. Normally, like the statistics for YouTube is like people only listen to maybe the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
So if someone's gonna listen to maybe to hear it audibly, but also see it right below is a good thing too.
So it's my name, Vadim, Vadim. Then it's full stop and PSM.
PSM. Okay,
Yeah.
so Vadim full stop.
PSM.
PSM. Okay, yeah. And comedy Jeffy.
Yeah.
So people started following you.
Yeah, they started following me. They started sending me direct messages. So like, you're the K-pop captain, and like amazing acting. I'm literally just standing and staring at the sky, but I was like, well, thanks. Yeah. But then it became a little political because people found out that I was Russian, and considering the situation.
With the whole, I keep forgetting about that.
Right, unfortunately, and people were trying to like make me comment on the situation, express my opinion, and I didn't want to get into that, so I just watched the mess that happened in my comments. Also, they started attacking one of the girls who was like, but by the way, he's just a guy. Like, he's just happened to be like that guy. Yeah. So it became a little messy, and I had to block a few people. But it lasted for like maybe 3 days or so. Also, they continued on Twitter for a couple of days. Okay. Yeah, it was like half of people were saying like, just chill, he's just working in Korea. It wasn't his choice.
But what's your political, like when we need to know your political stance, like on my stance is I want to stay quiet. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, unfortunately, there's this situation. Unfortunately, there's always people that are trying to kind of tease you and make you say something. But again, it was very temporary, very like short period. Yeah. And the only thing was that I was hoping that it would get me some more jobs. Yeah. But it didn't. So I was like, well.
Well, the funny thing is, like, you're Russian, but I'm often cast as the Russian too.
Yeah. Because of the beard.
It's because of the beard. Yeah. Like so. I've done. I was like a Russian mafia bartender in a movie called Kilbuksu that just came out recently. As well, there's like this Korean espionage movie, and I was again cast as like a Russian naval officer right off the bat, and then there's even a hospital in Incheon, and there's a lot of Russian factory workers that live in that area. So the hospital tried to specialize and create they have a Russian interpreter, and trying to even advertise to the Russian community there. And they hired me to be for a hospital video to show that they're open to foreigners and Russians. And I show up, and they had a Russian interpreter, and I said, "Oh, I don't speak Russian."
Right.
And they're like, "Oh," so they're like, "Oh, we thought you were Russian." So we gave the day off to our Russian hospital interpreter so she could help us with this music video, and instead we just ended up speaking in Korean the whole time.
No, that's pretty cool. I've never been casted for a role of Russian.
Oh, you should go to a Surprise.
Well, speaking of that, I actually have done it for a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think it was last summer.
Yes.
I did maybe 6 or 7 episodes, and I was mostly they were actually giving me the speaking roles.
Yes.
Once I got the main, quite a big part.
Yeah.
Quite a complicated role too. So, like yourself, I also was trying to give my best. It was also a good way for me to practice, because before that I barely had any actual roles, except for one independent movie that I did with a director from, where was he from Tunisia, I think. I had my first actual main role, which was a complicated.
Your Russian accent isn't even that strong either.
Well, I guess my
would you be able to do American accent, to turn it up, Boston or New York?
I don't know if I practice. I think because I also recently I went to a studio to take to make a demo, and we were using 2 commercial texts. One of them was kind of friendly-ish manner, and another one was for Kia commercial. It was very very low, gentle, also trying to kind of make you buy the car. Speaking about all the advantages and stuff. And the sound manager, the sound director, I think, he was American, I believe, Gyopo, Korean American, and he helped me with sounded more believable in a way, because I do have sometimes struggles with a couple of sounds. I did struggle with refrigerator.
Okay.
I was like, it's a refrigerator. I was like, I took maybe 5 minutes.
Well, I'm a native English speaker, and I trip over words all the time too. I remember for the longest time I couldn't say the word skeptical. I would always
Yeah, I know. Also, if you're staying abroad and you're not using your mother tongue for a long time. In my case, I do speak with my family, and we have this group chat in WhatsApp. But it's not as much, and I do have some Ukrainian and Russian friends that I use Russian with, but again, everyone's busy, we don't have much of a chance to talk, so I got an accent in Russian.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm using English constructions for Russian, so sometimes I'm saying something with kind of thinking in English, and then I'm like, what the hell did I just say?
You're right.
And then I'm trying to correct myself. Yeah. So it's pretty interesting how you can lose your language skills.
I know some some Canadian friends. They're from Montreal too, and they just because they've been in Korea and they do have Parisian friends, so they do speak French. But then they have the other people they interact with are just are English speakers. So when they talk to their parents, they'll say an odd word and it'll be English because they can't think of the French word for it. Landlady. My friend Guillaume couldn't think of the word landlady, so he's talking for French. So he just blah, 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 landlady, and what? Yeah,
because language is a skill, and if you're not using it, it becomes kind of redundant. So the body your brain just kind of puts it somewhere aside, and then you have to make an effort to bring it back. So I was saying that I was doing a surprise for a couple of times, and
going back to surprise.
Surprise. I put an effort to that to sound the part, to act the part, and at first, because like I said before that, I did this independent movie, just 7 minutes or so. It was a complicated character where I had to switch between the moods, like he had some mental issue, but that was the only thing that I had done so far. But then with Surprise, it was kind of a training for me.
So I did Surprise for a few years, and it was actually a good training thing for me.
Exactly, because like they don't push you to like really act, but if you want, you can actually like work on that and see how things work on set and like get into the industry better. So it's good for that. And I did some interesting roles there too, and then the production crew started contacting me, like not personally, but they specifically requested me a few times because they liked how I worked, and also like I don't have the worst English there. So, but the thing is that I heard that if a person like a model appears on Surprise, the agents are like.
I think that's the thing. I think I still have like a stigma, like a marking on me because I did do Surprise for a period of time. But like I was clean shaven, and then like when I tried to, and I had hair, and then so like when I tried to wash myself of like doing Surprise, like I like more shaved my head and I grew out a beard, so I had a unique look that wouldn't be on Surprise. But it was when I was getting away from Surprise because I just quit. There was a period of time, and this was right a couple months before COVID actually. So it was the fall and the winter of 2019. I had like auditioned for a movie, 2 movies. One was like Space Sweepers, Sungneo, and the other one, and the other one was Boston. And I got neither roles, but then I got contacted to be an extra on Space Sweepers. And then I show up, and like there's a lot of the production people like, oh wow, you're here, and like going, you think it's like, oh wow, we really liked your audition video. That's so bad. Like when it's a shame you didn't get a role, and then I hear like Surprise. I'm like, oh fuck, and like going, oh man, is that? I'm like going. I think I'm like, okay. But then I just brushed it off. Okay, maybe that's just a surprise. But then I had a friend, he actually got cast for a big role in Boston. And he couldn't be cut out of the movie. It's a very crucial role. The movie hasn't come out yet, but it was a very crucial role. And like they did like 3 days, they designed a whole set around him. And then they filmed it, and like then they filmed actually like the Boston Marathon in Australia. So they spent a lot of their budget already, and then like they were the post-production like doing that, and then around Christmas time, my friend gets a phone call from the agent that cast him, and this is like 3 months afterwards. They said, hey, why didn't you tell us you were on Surprise? The director just saw you in an episode, and he's very upset because these production companies, they want to portray that they're actually casting the most skilled, the highest quality that they can find, or even like pretending that they're flying in foreign actors for it. But then when these actors that are in these like supposedly high quality, high budget movies appear in low budget historical reenactment shows like Surprise, and then now they're going, oh wow, that kills the quality of our material.
But like, it's so weird because like, does it really matter what the person does in some other projects? Because like, if the delivery is great in your project, in that specific project, like why
I shit on surprise a lot, but I also like see the benefits of it, and I wish it didn't exist. That they like if like people that do surprise can't be cast, because these people actually, well, first they're trying to get money to survive. A. B, they're actually practicing. If they're trying very hard, you can see that they're trying very hard, or not just reading out a line. Like there are two levels of people that are on surprise: the people that actually care about it and they want to try to break in. Because that's actually how I broke into the industry. Because I didn't have like a portfolio. I didn't have like a lot of acting experience. I had acting experience in Canada before I came here, but it was mostly just like stage. So I didn't have anything to entice these casting agents, and I didn't even have the contacts of the casting agents. So I needed some way to enter in, and even that was I had to fucking fight to get there too. I had a friend that was doing surprise, and I showed interest, and they're like, "Hey, can you introduce me to?" And the guy that does the casting for that is another guy named Vadim. And he's like, "Sorry, I don't want to do that because because if you start acting, then you might get a job and that means that's a job that I won't get." So finally I did get Vadim's contact, and I broke in, and it was still like kind of like fighting all that stuff. But during that time, I did get a lot of experience.
Yeah, so like for models, for actors, it can be like a good school in terms of acting, in terms of getting to know the industry. But unfortunately, there's this kind of
seeing yourself
image.
On camera. You could see, like, a lot of people are not aware like how they look, their body interacts on camera. I hate the sound of my voice, but at least I know what I sound like. Right now, at least I'm connecting emotion to talking to you. The earlier episodes of Rice Camera Action, RCA, man, I had no emotion. I was just struggling at words what to say. I was just fumbling all over the place.
Yeah, so that's a good way to learn. That's a good way to practice. I also got a chance to, after a long time, to be with hair, even though it was just an ugly wig. Yeah, but still, it was fun. But then I just thought I want to do like the actual projects. I want to be casted for better things. So maybe I should step away from it. At least for the time being. So I haven't done that for a while.
Okay, well, man, like, we've already gone a long time already, man. But I think we just opened up a box. I hope the interview again, Vadim.
Sure.
I hope you had fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
thanks for having me.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in and watching to the very end of Rice Camera Action. I'm your host, Geoff Gaudet. You can follow me on my social medias, all comedy, GEOFFY, Comedy Jeffy.
And I'm a wannabe model, Vadim. Follow me on vadim.psm.
Okay, cross your fingers for both of us, and hopefully we get paid this week.
See ya.